Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state participate in the extraordinary summit on the African Union on Sudan. Concerning the national scene, update of national account for the international scene in Colombia, 28 dead after a landslide. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, arrived in the middle of the morning in Cairo, during which he will meet with the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and attend a summit with President Sisi and several African presidents. Upon his arrival, the President of the Republic received by the Egyptian Minister of Education Tariq al-Shukri and several senior Egyptian officials, as well as the Ambassador of Djibouti in Cairo and his permanent representative to the Arab League, Mr. Mohammed Duhur Hirsi, as well as member of the Djibouti embassy in Cairo. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will hold a summit of the Sudanese regional partners with the participation of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, President Idriss Déby of Chad, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, and President Denis Sassou Nguesso, President of the Republic of Congo, Somali President Abdullahi Farmajo, and President of Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, Chairman of the African Union Commission Moussa Faki, Deputy Prime Ministers Demeke Mekonnen of Ethiopia. The summit aims to discuss developments in the Sudan, strengthen joint actions and the most appropriate ways to respond to the changing situations on the Sudanese scenes and to contribute to the support of the Sudan, stability and peace in the country. The President of the Republic is accompanied in his trip to Cairo by the Minister of Foreign Affairs for International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. The President of the Republic took part on Tuesday mornings at one day's summit dedicated to Sudan. In addition to the Djiboutian President, the other leaders of the region and those of the bordering countries of Sudan participate in this summit. The main objective of this meeting was for the leaders in the meeting to agree on the natures of the support to be provided to the Sudanese sister nations in the crucial test of its historic and in relation to the apprehensions with serenity and concord of his best interest, especially the realizations of peaceful alternations with his supreme magistracy. It was therefore questions in this summit to find and integrate and common positions of the countries of the region and bordering the Sudan on the friendly and fraternal assistance to bring to this country so that all its forces, the political parties, the professional orders, and the civil society can find a consensus. On this occasion, President Guelleh delivered a speech in which he condemned the military coup in Sudan on April 11, 2019, which led to the evictions of the President Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir and his arrest, trampled the constitutional orders in this country's border. The Peace and Security Council of the African Union met on April 15, 2019 at its 840 meetings, after which is condemned and rejected the takeover by the military junta and deplored the arrest of the President Bashir, continued President. President Guelleh also sent a message of condolence to Grand Duke Henry of Luxembourg following the death of his predecessor and father, Grand Duke John. The President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, today sent a message of condolence to Grand Duke Henry of Luxembourg following the death of his predecessor and father, Grand Duke Jean. the head of state, who expressed his deep sadness, expressed his solidarity with Grand Duke Henry and the peoples of Luxembourg before this event. The government and peoples of the Republic of Djibouti join me in expressing their compassion and solidarity in these difficult circumstances. He added, President Anglais has finally failed to reiterate his condolence most grieved to the Grand Duke Henry of Luxembourg and his family. Loved ones, finally remember that the Grand Duke John, whose death occurred on Tuesday, had abdicated in 2000 in favor of his son, Grand Duke Henry. This morning, a breakfast meetings on the revisions of national account and the macroeconomic forecasts was held under the auspices of the Minister of Finance and Economy, Ilyas Moussa Dawale. The revision of national accounts is based on a system of macroeconomic account and a set of concept, definitions, classification, and registration rules to provide a framework in which economic data can be collected and analyzed to assist policymakers to orient oneself in matters of economic policy. The results of these publications have provided better data for assisting Djibouti's economic development. The recordings of these exercises, which derive from poor estimates, GDP forecasts, and economic growth, was previously done by external entities. These exercises made it possible to update the economic data in terms of GDP, the benefits of the port, economic architecture. In some, these exercises made it possible to represent the economy in a simplified way. However, given the complexity of the subject, it's necessary to perform an aggregation using a specific classification that meet international standards. Once this revision was made, significant improvement made it possible to have a concordant vision with the economic reality. So a better economic perspectives gave birth to a macroeconomic forecast of the country for the coming years. After the official speeches, various projections were made on the profit of and the revenue that the free zones and the companies that are installed there, as well as the receipt. On the other side, the Director of Economy, Ms. Mariam Hamadou, has presented the macroeconomic forecasts of the country. The meeting was attended by senior executives of the country's economic institution, including central bank, external financing, the economy experts, the partners such as Japan, Germany, United States, Ethiopia, China, UNDP, USA, JICA, and World Bank. For his part, the Minister of Finance, Ilyas Moussa Dawale, is still optimistic in a first times an inventory of the economy of Djibouti, a projection is on the future, the roles of the state in the economy, he concluded. Also in his speech, Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dawale has in this word emphasized that good growth rhythms with investment, but that we must always put all the necessary parameters, including the reforms, at its disposal, he said. Once the presentations are finished, please the debate and the recommendation is the partner congratulate the government of Djibouti for this communications, which shed light on the added value. And finally, the Minister of Finance has given the big sectors that must be strengthened, including capacity building that will slow down the sector that is expected the most productions in terms of growth, but also in terms of job creation, he said. The Secretary of State for Social Affairs, Ms. Muna Usman Aden, is received yesterday afternoon in her ministerial cabinet Salim Levente Shahinaya, the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Turkey in Djibouti. The visit took place in the presence of the technical advisor, Mr. Jibah Benoit Framansa, and Mr. Habib Louisi, consultant to the SEAS, as part of the operationalization of the National Strategy for Social Protection 2018-2022. This meeting was an opportunity to discuss several development projects for vulnerable population. The two partners finally welcomed their very fruitful discussion and expressed their wish to further perpetuate the relation between the two institutions. Ms. Muna Usman Aden did not fail to emphasize in the finalist the privileged role of Turkey, sister country, in the socio-economic development of the country. Following the signings of the conventions between the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, His Excellency Hassan Mohamed Kamil, and the UN diplomat UNICEF head in Djibouti, Ms. Janabou Maoundé, the community development centers are becoming more and more popular, especially for girls. Indeed, 2 open days in several CDC in the capitals have seen firsthand that the community development centers are now becoming a focal point for dozens of girls with their disposals, play kits, computer equipment, saving machine donated by UNICEF. Clearly, it is for the Secretary of State and UNICEF to translate in tandem their collaborations in concrete actions aiming at stimulating a dynamic favorable to the promotion and the socio-professional insertions of the young girls when one knows that precariousness is a determinant of debauchery and juvenile delinquency. The National Army, in collaboration with the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, yesterday last Monday said the second days of awareness campaign on patriotic and republic value for the benefit of primary school students of Tajora. This campaign was launched in the barracks of the Tajora Inter-Armies Regiment in the presence of General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. On his arrival, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim was welcomed by Colonel Ali Shahim on the Minus Troops Review, bed heads of honor, red carpet. This colorful ceremony was opened by reading the Holy Quran. Then together, delegations and school children all stood up for the national anthem sang by the appropriate national orchestra. This unprecedented campaign will score across 5 regions, including the participation of senior Tajora, namely General of the Brigade Tahir Ali Mohammed, General Ali Hassan, Colonel Wahib Musa Qanile, Colonel Ali Shaham, the Prefect of the region of Tajora, Mr. Abdul Malik Muhammad Benoita, the President of the Regional Council, Mr. Omar Hussein, the officials of the National Education, as well as 150 boys and girls school children. During the ceremony, Captain Amina Ahmed had the opportunity to question the students of the Tajura schools on the values of the Republic and citizenship, while the students responded assiduously to the various questions asked at the end of the ceremony. The winner who responded brilliantly were all rewarded. Then about 50 Tajura school children visit the various corners of the camp of the various regiments of the National Army of Tajura, Riate. The students then asked questions in the wake mounted inside the tanks to appreciate the scale, appearance, and use of military aircraft. In his intervention, Colonel Ali Shahm welcomed the Chief of the Staff of the National Army Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, and the local authorities to the Tajura's inter-army barracks. The conference hall of the University of Djibouti, Balbala, hosted this yesterday morning a ceremony of signatures of a cooperation agreement between the University of Djibouti and University of Aden. This agreement was co-signed by Dr. Jama Mohammed Hassan, President of the University of Djibouti, and the President of the Aden University, Dr. Al-Khader Nasser Ahmed. The signing ceremony was attended by the technical advisor of the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Mr. Fahmi Mohammed, the Director of the Regional Offices of the WAMI NGOs in Djibouti, Maysara Mohammed Saif, as well as the representative of Aden University in Djibouti, as well as other officials. Under this agreement, the University of Aden will offer trainings to the diploma of the University of Djibouti and exchanges experience and skills with the University of Djibouti. This initiative is part of fraternal relations and fruitful cooperation between Djibouti and the Republic of Yemen, especially in the education sector. The president of the Aden University and the president of the Djibouti University expressed their satisfaction at the conclusion of this agreement, traditional of its kind between the two universities. Following the signings of the agreement, the president of Aden University visited the various facilities of the University of Djibouti in Balbala. He was accompanied by Dr. Jama' Mohammed Hassan, president of Djibouti University, the technical advisor to the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Mr. Fahmi Mohammed, and the director of WAMI Regional Office in Djibouti, Mr. Mohammed Saif. The president of Aden University inspected the library of university, the computer room and classrooms. Remember that the president of the Republic, Ismail Margele, had officially opened the headquarters of the Djibouti University in Balbala in February 2018. As part of our programs to promote and protect human rights, Salam, the Neighborhood Management Committee, organized an awareness raising ceremony on the rights of the child. This ceremony is organized in close collaboration with the National Unions of Djibouti Women Unity and UNICEF. This ceremony is initiated to sensitize young people on the right to obtain the national identity card and to refuse excisions, and young people, girls, to fight against drugs. The ceremony saw the participation of several women from the committee, young and all from all the neighborhood. This awareness campaign is timely because in this period, young people are confined with the CDC. Recall that several sensitizations and training are organized all in favor of young people. The ceremony was chaired by the Neighborhood for Community Management Committee coordinator, who reminded us that these kinds of awareness is organized regularly to improve the rights of children. This morning we learned the death of the late Ahmed Dararbouh, nicknamed Bisley, born in 1925 in small bara of the regions of Arta. The late went out this morning in his home in Iskutir and left behind him a family consisting of 2 wives, 14 children and more than 40 small children. Following this tragedy, the Energy Minister Yunus Ali Gedi, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Energy Mohammed Kile Wais, the Prefect of Artas Region Abdullah Al-Ukiye, the President of the Regional Council Ilmi Bouh, and Mr. Khadir Gedi Aye, journalist of RTD, addresses his sad condolence to the families and friends of the late. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, 28 dead after a landslide in Colombia. Listen to this report.
28 people were killed in landslide in southwestern Colombian province of Cauca. 5 other people were injured by the mudslide, which also damaged or destroyed several homes in the village. The landslide, which was caused by heavy rain, occurred earlier Sunday morning in Rosas, a municipality in the Cauca department. A large part of mountain broke off, burying at least 80 houses.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.